Hey guys, this is for kindergarten and first grade only. If someone else wants to do it, that's fine, but this is as far as getting a grade for it, this is for kindergarten and first. If you're older and you go ahead and do it, you can get some bonus points for it, but in order to get your grade for this week, you'll need to do the one that is listed for you. So, let's begin. Now, guys, when you get started, you're going to be on your Google Classroom screen, and you'll see your art class, your computer class, your library, and probably music. And if your normal teacher, your all-day regular teacher, is using Google Classroom, then you're also going to see hers here too, as you look at all these squares here. So what you'll want to do is, while you're on this screen, after you read the lesson, which is going to be right over here in Miss Creech's computer lab, then you're going to come over where you see this little checkerboard that says Google Apps on it. You just click on that, and we're going to come down here where it says Sheets. Now, kindergartners, I know your mama's probably helping you, and that's fine, or your daddy. We got some helpful daddies out there too. So let's go ahead and click on that, and then when your screen pulls up, you'll see that you have all these choices, and some of them look very confusing, and they look like they're for grown-ups, and most of them are. But we are going to choose the one that says blank. And basically all I want you to do today is just kind of get the feel for how to move columns, which are these rows that start with ABC. Got your ABCs across the top, and numbers down the side are rows. These are rows, these are columns. These are some of the controls that you can use to do things in each one of these rows and columns. And today I just really want you to get used to how to move these around, how to make them wider, how to make them smaller, things like that, and how to add color. So we've got a real fun little project for you to do that'll help you do just that. Now, the first thing we want to do is click right up here where it says Untitled Spreadsheet, and you want to give it a name. And you can call yours whatever you want to. You may wait and give it a name a little further on in after you decide what you're going to do. But I'm going to go ahead and call mine, I'm going to call it the Minion. Some of you like those minions, don't you? I know you do, because every time you get a free draw time, that's what you draw. So anyway, I'll give it a name, and all I did was hit enter, or just clicked outside of that box. You can go back and change that at any time just by clicking in it and then click back out to save it. Now, that's the thing using Google Sheets instead of using Excel spreadsheets or something like that. Google Sheets is built right into your Gmail, and it also auto saves. You don't have to worry about ever remembering to click the save button on this. And I know that's kind of been an issue in class before. It's just not necessarily learning how to do it. You guys learn really quick. It's remembering how to do it, and don't feel alone. Lots of adults that I know get very upset when they lose what they've worked on, because why? Because they didn't save it. So we don't have to worry about that here, so let's move on. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do pixel art. Now, I know that quite a few of you play Minecraft, so you know what pixels are and how everybody and all the animals and the people in Minecraft look all kind of like they're made out of little squares, because they are. So that's what we're going to do with this today. Now, here's the thing. You're going to need a lot of tinier squares than what it's showing on this screen. So I'm going to show you first of all how to make those smaller. Now, you'll notice if I hover this with my mouse, not click, just hover, which means just kind of rub over it, you'll see that my mouse turns into a double-ended arrow. If I click and hold that down with the left click button, it makes a solid blue line. Now, I'm not letting go of that button. I'm still hanging on to it. That's why it's staying blue. If I let go, it goes away. If I click it again, see, it comes back. Now, if I keep holding on to that and move while I'm holding it, I can make that A column that big. Look how big that is. Or I can make it really small, which is exactly what I want to do. For pixel art, you need lots of small cells. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but the boxes are actually not called boxes. They are technically called cells. This is a column, up and down with the letters at the top. That's a column. or you call that vertical. A vertical line is column on here. Your horizontal or back and forth lines that begin with numbers are called rows. And each individual little box is called a cell. Think about a beehive. It has all those teeny tiny little, well, for the bees, they're homes, but it has all those teeny tiny little boxes built in it, all pushed together. Well, those are cells. Each one of these is a cell. Okay, now I've showed you how to make those really skinny in that direction. So now we're going to click in the corner. We do that again, right there in that corner box that has no letter, no number. Click there, and we're going to move this one back just like we did the letter A and make it small, and boom. Because we were clicked on the corner box, it made all of them go small. And that's what we want, or it would have taken a very long time to get them all that size. So we are going to make a minion. We're going to make a picture out of this box of cells. And it's called Pixel Pictures. You can make a tongue twister out of that. Now my daughter came in here and made one out of a character that she really likes earlier. So I'm going to show you that one real quick. See, she did the same thing and she made this little character out of it just by coloring in all the little boxes. See, he's got his eyes. She even did 2 shades, his shirt, his face, and rosy little cheeks. So we're going to go back. We're going to go a little more simple than that because I don't want to keep you on here all day long. So we're going to make ourselves a minion, and we're going to start with his head. Probably somewhere in about here. I want to click because that'll be like the top corner of his head. And the first thing you're going to want to learn how to do, or learn where it is your colors. There's your colors. Look across this line of all these little controls, and you find one that looks like a paint bucket that's spilling out a drop of paint. You click on it, and you get all these colors to choose from. Are minions purple? Well, they are in one of the Minion movies, aren't they? Or the Despicable Me movies. But our Minion's going to be yellow like they are when they're normal. Now, I don't want to keep going through here and doing each one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one, and I'm going to drag it across by clicking and holding, just like I showed you earlier. And while I've got all that dragged, I'm going to hit that yellow again. And now all of them are yellow. Now we want to make his head a little bit wider as it goes down, so we'll do it again. Do yellow. And a little bit wider, yellow. Now this time we can come all the way down quite a bit, so we get most of his body. And then we're going to do that again. Fill color, yellow. See? Now, because at the top, his head rounded, his bottom's going to need to round too, but first, I guess we should make his pants, don't you think? And the Minion's pants are kind of blue. Almost a denim blue. There we go. And now, as his legs come down, we'll make them a little fatter. Oops, we did that in yellow. I don't think it's yellow, is it? It's blue. And I'm going to give you just a minute to go ahead and finish your yellow in if you're doing this at the same time you're watching, just in case. So, there we go. Now, do we want to give him some little overalls? Probably. And I'll probably just go ahead and fill that in right there instead of, because they're so fat they don't really look like they have legs hardly, do they? Give them some little short legs. Put a couple small blue spots in there. About 3 squares each on each side. Now see, that's the beauty. Now if you accidentally messed up, and we're getting ready to make his shoes, and they'll go like that, but let's say I accidentally, oops, I made his foot way too big. Now that don't look right, does it? It looks crazy. How am I going to fix that? I don't know how to erase. Well, you don't have to worry about it. You see these 2 little arrows right here? One says undo, redo. the one that says undo points backwards. So what we're going to do is use that undo to undo the last thing we just did. I click it and boom, it's gone. The foot is gone. Now if I had to undo a lot of moves, I just keep clicking it and it keeps going back. And that's the easiest way to erase a mistake. But his foot probably should be about that size, don't you think? So let's go ahead and do that. And we will make them, I think they're probably more of a brown than a black, but that's okay. We'll go with that for today. There we go. Do his other foot. Now, they do have overalls, and we did make all this yellow, but that's fine. We can fix that too. But we'll probably first want to come up here and get him some eyebrows. Now, I'm going to use a brown. I don't think those two were the exact same shade of brown, but that's okay, because we can always just go over it and do it again. Brown. Yep. There we go. Now, you guys do not have to do a minion. And when you're ready to move on, you can go ahead and start and just come back to this video if you have questions or you want to see a little bit more. That's fine. I think we should make our minion have one big eye. So let's go ahead and start his big eye. I know some of them have two, but the one-eyed minions, they're pretty cool. There's not a whole lot of them, so that means they're a little bit different, and I'm good with that. How about you? So, kind of did that in a little bit of a gray. And let's bring it down one. Do it again. And now do this guy. Now the middle of his eye is going to be white. So I did the drag again. I held it down and dragged it and did the white. Now, because we only have 6 in here and they're not an even, well, they are even, but they go in rows of 3 and 3, we can't do a very center without it being too big. So what we could do is we could make his eye just these bottom two for his pupil. And now it kind of looks like he's looking down. Or make that white and just do the center. You can do that too. There we go. Now he's going to need a strap, right, for his goggles. So let's go ahead and drag that over. And give him a strap. And give him another strap. And now he's going to need a mouth. So we could make his mouth open and try to put some white in there for teeth, but I think that might be a little bit difficult. So let's just draw him on a black smiley face. There we go. Now, if we want him to have his little bib overalls, then we're probably going to want to come up to about right here and go with the same blue that we used for his pants. And then for his overalls, let's just do this. Now you can curve that more by going up like this, so your triangles, and that would be fine too, but I think this will work just fine. Now he probably will want some arms, so let's go ahead and let's do those 4 first. And do those. Then he has black gloves on the end, so do it that way. So we did 2, we did a box of 4 on the other side. So we'll do a box of 4 over here, and then we did another one that came down 1. So do that over here, and then we put the black stripe on the end for his gloves. So what do you think, guys? There's our minion. I want to see what you can do. You do not have to do a minion. You can do whatever you choose to do is fine. But I want you to play with it, and it'll kind of let you know how to move your boxes up and down, your cells, how to close them in, how to open them up, and how to fill with color, and how to use your undo and redo buttons. And right now, that's the main thing. If you can get those things down and learn to work that mouse a little bit to move around in here, that's plenty enough with me. So when you get this done, when you're finished with it, and you may have to grab your mom or dad to help you, but when you get finished with your picture and you've given it a name, what you want to do is come right here where it says share. Well, scratch that. Come back over to your Google Classroom, and I've got another one pulled up over here to make that easier. So this one I use like a student, so it'll look like yours. Okay, just come back to your Google Classroom and go to the assignment that it was. I know it wasn't Cincy Lane typing, but we're going to pretend that it was for a minute. And then you come over here into this area and you hit, close that up. All right, and you hit this right here where it says add or create, and you just hit add and Google Drive, because that's where you did this, and it'll show up right in here. It'll say whatever the name of it was that you gave it, it'll show up, and you just click that and then hit add down at the bottom, and it will automatically send that to me. So that way you don't even have to worry about taking pictures and uploading pictures or anything like that. It'll all be right there. So give it a shot, guys. Whose looks better, mine or Amanda's? That's a silly question, isn't it? Amanda does everything better, so hers looks really good, and she used a lot of shading and blending, but we're not going that far today, but I wanted you to see what it can be. Now, you make whatever you want and get that to me, and I hope you enjoy doing this. Bye, guys.